There is no money for long-standing released positions who work to support labor relations and educator retention. No money for mold remediation. No money for working toilets. No money for athletics. And I will continue to wonder, if these things are true, how is expanded management possible? New Haven Public Schools appears to be shifting toward a school district where education professionals come to manage, to supervise, to gain executive experience, to be paid handsomely, and possibly to advance professionally. But is it a district where educators are coming to teach kids? Is it a district where families are enrolling their children to learn and grow? I wonder why you, more than any of our past boards, vote to grow a layer of supervision and management between the central office and classrooms that never existed before. These are wonderings I leave you with, board members. I encourage you to examine the data that lies within your agenda and to hold it in close consideration each time you vote in your capacity as a representative of this community. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for participating in public comment and sharing information with the board and public. For the action items on our agenda, the first is to approve the board meeting minutes of July 13th, 2026.
So moved.
Thank you. That's been moved. I second it. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote. Mr. Wilcox?
Yes.
Dr. Joyner?
Yes. Can you hear
Ms.
me?
Downer? Yes,
Okay.
thank you, Dr. Joyner.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Downer. Mayor Elicker?
Yes.
I'm a yes as well. That motion carries. Next is the personnel report. Dr. Negron?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Bring this closer. Let me start first by recognizing our retirements. Tonight, I would like to recognize the following individuals. Lamont Barham, building manager, retiring on August 8th after serving 30 years. Carmen Echevarria, administrative assistant at Wilbercrest High School, retiring on August 25th after serving 28 years. I am now going to move to our recommendations for hire in our promotional appointments. Before I do that, I do want to provide some context related to Elm City Montessori. Pursuant to Section 10-66BB of the Connecticut General Statutes, Elm City Montessori is an approved local, public, non-sectarian charter school established under the charter granted by the State Board. Elm City's Montessori's charter, mission, and bylaws are administered by its own Board of Trustees, which functions as the governing council of the school. As such, Elm City Montessori is operated independently of any local or regional Board of Education in accordance with the terms of its chapters and provisions of CGS 10-66AA to 10-66FF inclusive. The board, meaning this Board of Ed, provides in-kind services, personnel, stipulated, and funding for the school based on levels of student enrollment. The Board of Trustees establishes how to use those funds. In this particular case, the Board of Trustees elected to add an assistant principal to address growing enrollment. At this time, it is my honor to present Amy Schlenk as the recommended assistant principal at Elm City Montessori. Ms. Schlenk has been part of the New Haven Public Schools community since 2002. She began working as a paraprofessional at Avis Street School, where she developed a love for working with young learners that led her to pursue teaching certification and a master's in elementary education. She returned to Davis as a classroom teacher, working with 4th and 5th grade students and learning about the Comer philosophy and the impact that shared decision-making and social-emotional learning can have on schools and classroom communities. While working as an administrative intern at Quinnipiac STEM School, she participated in a project with the reading department to streamline and digitize the SRBA process so teams across the district could identify specific instructional strategies to help students succeed. These experiences were the foundation of Ms. Schlenk's passion to ensure our diverse learners receive the individualized support they need to reach their potential. Since attaining her administrative certification and 6-year diploma in educational leadership, she has been committed to working with school teams to support students, classrooms, and families. Most recently, as the Director of Student Support at Elm City Montessori School, she has led effective academic interventions, special education instruction, and social-emotional learning across the school, so all students' educational experiences lead them to success. As a New Haven resident and a parent of 3 NHPS students, Ms. Schlenk is personally and professionally committed to her schools and community. She is excited to accept the position of assistant principal and continue to be an asset to the students, family, and staff in the New Haven Public Schools. Now I want to move on to the next recommendation that you are seeing in that report for Jennifer Kay for assistant principal at King Robinson Magnet School. Later on, when we get to the info-only items, I will have a statement related to more of these positions. But moving on to Jennifer Kay, she is an accomplished educational leader with 17 years of dedicated service to NHPS and Lincoln Bassett Community School. Throughout her tenure, she has served as kindergarten teacher, 3rd grade teacher, and literacy coach, consistently leading efforts to improve instruction, strengthen student achievement, and build collaborative professional learning communities. Jennifer's leadership extends beyond her school community. She has served as a district summer school lead and a ReadCon district facilitator, supporting educators across the district in implementing evidence-based literacy practices and advancing high-quality instruction. For the past 5 years, she has also served as a social-emotional learning ambassador, championing initiatives that foster positive school culture, student well-being, and strong relationships among students, families, and staff. Outside of her educational leadership roles, Jennifer has a true passion for the arts, serving as a choreographer for Wilbur Cross High School productions for the past 9 years, as well as for other regional community theaters, mentoring students in the performing arts, and helping them develop confidence, creativity, discipline, and teamwork. Jennifer is recognized for her collaborative leadership style, unwavering commitment to educational equity, and passion for developing students and educators alike. As assistant principal, she looks forward to partnering with staff, families, and the broader school community to cultivate a supportive, inclusive, and high-achieving learning environment where every student can succeed. Moving on to the reclassification that you are also seeing in that personal report. We do agree with public comment that it is all about where we can be strategic and innovative in closing some needs, but at the same time, being efficiently efficient. Most recently, our supervisor of social studies retired. That position is not going to be filled. Instead, we are reclassifying the elementary supervisor to a director of humanities. As part of this classification, the director will be overseeing social studies. The funds that remain from the prior salary that was in our budget will now be shifted to support eventually the restructuring that we want to do inside of mathematics, similarly to what we've already done in literacy. With that, I pause and I ask for approval of tonight's personnel report.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Dr.
Uh,
Joyner.
I'm gonna have to recuse myself from one section of the vote. I don't know how we do that, but because my daughter is a math supervisor, and I don't want to even have the appearance of conflict of interest by voting for that. I shouldn't have to because they're not getting a benefit that nobody else is getting, but we don't want to even have the appearance of conflict, particularly in a situation where people are providing information that's not always accurate. So I don't know how we can do that, if we can separate that out, and I can vote for the everything but that, and if that's okay.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Joyner, for your thoughtfulness around that. We probably can have two motions, where the first motion might be specifically for the math supervisor, and then the this part, what he's talking about. Something.
Today are the two assistant principals and I'm sorry, the ones on the agenda today are the two assistant principals I mentioned and the reclassification to the director of humanities.
So just to make it clear for the press, I'm voting yes on everything but the math supervisors because I know the background information. And I'm recusing myself from voting on the addition of the math supervisor. I also know that background information, but again, I'm an ethical and honorable person, so I'm not gonna even make it look like there's an appearance of wrongdoing.
Thank you, Dr. Joyner. And Dr. Negron, are you clarifying that the math topic is not a part of the voting personnel report?
Math assignments are not on the personnel report. The reclassification again of the literacy elementary supervisor is on the report today
Okay.
to advance that to a director of humanities that
Okay.
will ultimately oversee elementary ELA and social studies.
Okay, I understand. So I'll be able to vote on the personnel report.
Okay. Great. Thank you both for those clarifications. Thank you for your help. Thank you, Dr. Negron, for presenting the personnel report. Mr. Wilcox?
I move we approve the action items of the superintendent's personnel report.
Second. Is there any discussion?
Yes.
Yes, Dr. Joyner?
I think that our superintendent has done a well thought out analysis of the various positions in the district and has landed on our goal to improve operational efficiencies. We are a system that is primarily responsible for teaching and learning, and we need to have effective staff at every level of the system. And if anybody would compare our administrative roster with other similar systems, and if anyone was familiar with the research around the level of support you need to at-risk to teach children in an at-risk community, you would know that. And our administrators work hard. They often work on weekends. They come in early, they leave late. And I'm proud to support them as well as our teachers that do the same thing. And I don't think it serves anything to misrepresent that. Read the research, and you can come to your own conclusions about these moves. And they were well thought out, and in many cases, very innovative and responsible given our continuous fiscal challenges.
Thank you, Dr. Joyner. Any further discussion?
I had a question.
Yes, Mayor Elicker?
I just wanted to clarify because it was said in public comment that this was adding an additional position, and I want to clarify what Dr. Negron said, that this is a transfer, so there's not a change in the budgetary impact. Is that correct?
What we are working today on does not have an increase to our standing budget.
Okay. And I just add that we spend much less as a percentage of our budget than the state average on central office positions. So I think there was an insinuation in public comment that these types of decisions are detrimental to our case that cities like New Haven need more funding. And I think that that's just not a helpful comment and not accurate. So I'll be supporting this personnel budget.
Thank you, Mayor Elicker. Mr. Wilcox?
And I'll just point out to add to that, because I did just take a look at this in the last week or two, and it is still accurate based on the Connecticut Department of Education school report cards, that New Haven still remains under the state average for a number of central office positions, as well as in-school administrator positions as well. We're below the state average and well below other districts that are much better funded per pupil. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wilcox. Seeing no further discussion, we'll vote. Mr. Wilcox?
Yes.
Dr. Joyner?
Yes.
Ms. Downer?
Yes.
Thank you. Mayor Elicker?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes, we heard you, Ms. Downer. Thank you. And thank you, Mayor Elicker. I'm a yes as well. Next on the agenda is the F&O, Finance and Operations Committee.
All right. Thank you. Before I get,
Before,
Oh,
I'm
I'm so-
sorry, President Yarborough, as is custom.
Thank you, everybody, for keeping me straight. Yes.
We would like to invite our new administrators to come up and share some words and give them their welcoming token. May we please have Ms. Schlenk come up, or Assistant Principal for M City Montessori.
Okay, I just want to say thank you so much to the Board of Education, to my principal, Julia Webb, obviously my family who's not here, who supported me through this, and really all the school leaders, all the families, all the students who helped me along on my journey to get me to where I am today, and to take this opportunity just to instate my commitment to this district and to our families and to our students, and how proud and excited I am to be here today. So thank you, everybody.
Next, we would like to invite Ms. Jennifer Kay.
Good evening, Dr. Negron, members of the board, and everyone here tonight. It is truly an honor to stand before you as I accept the position of assistant principal at King Robinson. For the past 17 years, I have been blessed to serve New Haven Public Schools and Lincoln Bassett Community School as a teacher, a literacy coach, and a summer district level leader, supporting our students, families, and educators in the work of building strong readers and leaders. Each of these experiences has shaped my belief that strong relationships, high expectations, and a commitment to equity create the foundation where students and educators thrive. To my colleagues, mentors, family, and friends, thank you for your unwavering support and encouragement. It has been an honor to serve on the Lincoln Bassett leadership team, as well as many district initiatives alongside Principal Garcia and district level leaders who offered me countless opportunities to strengthen my leadership skills and vision. I would not be standing here without you. I am truly excited and grateful to begin this next chapter alongside Principal Gums Johnson with humility, purpose, and a commitment to listening, learning, and leading alongside our staff, students, and families. Together, I know we can continue building a school community where every child is seen, valued, and empowered to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Negron, does that conclude your?
That does conclude my personal report action item.
Thank you very much. Finance and Operations Committee, Mr. Wilcox.
Thank you. Before I get started, just checking in to see if anybody would like anything moved separately this evening. Hearing and seeing not, I will make the motion, and that is I move we approve the 8 abstracts, 17 agreements, 2 purchase orders, and 5 contracts as outlined on our agenda.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Wilcox?
Yes.
Dr. Joyner?
Yes.
Ms. Downer?
Yes.
Thank you. Mayor Elicker?
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well. That motion carries. Thank you. Very briefly for the President's report, I'll be working with the board members in collaboration with Dr. Joyner and Mr. Wilcox from the executive team on deciding what our board goals will be that can align with our district strategic plan. So I'll be reaching out to each of you to get your input for our board goals. Any discussion? Seeing none, Superintendent's report, Dr. Negron.
Thank you. While Assistant Superintendent Red Hannons comes up to get ready for the presentation, I do want to make some commentary related to the info-only personal items for the benefit of the public. First, you may recall that we had received public requests to reconsider transferring Ms. Kersey to King Robinson. I indicated, which the New Haven Independent published, that the transfer would stand unless an opportunity opened. 2 key developments allow me to reconsider and keep Ms. Kersey Amore Sheridan for the upcoming 26-27 academic year. On July 7th, Ms. Kersey formally communicated her intent to indeed retire at the end of 26-27, and we're also working through the final phase of the dissolution of the High School in the Community partner entity MOA from back to 2012 through an articulated MOU that was executed in 2025. To recap, as part of that MOU, the teacher leader role was replaced by a full-time principal. That happened last academic year, maintaining a co-leader. And in 26-27, this year, the co-leader role is replaced by an assistant principal. So the HSC assistant principal appointment that you see in the info only, it is not only coming at an increase, we're actually saving money in that appointment because we have taken what existed under that MOA and adding the role that was executing those responsibilities. And in the salary listed for the salary for the incoming HSC assistant principal, again, we will actually be saving with these transfers. So again, I wanted to provide that context to continue to reiterate all the thinking that is going behind the scenes to ensure that whenever there are opportunities to innovate, reconsider, and save a few dollars while lending additional supports to our schools and to our district as a whole, I intend to continue to do that. Any questions?
Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Dr. Joyner.
I think this is a good time to talk about how we all should conduct ourselves if we're truly concerned about protecting the welfare of the children in this city and about operating in an environment which is patently unfair regarding funding for urban communities. One of the things that I learned as a child growing up is that there's a never a wrong time to do the right thing. And when Dr. Negron was faced with this issue around the transfer of the principal, she consulted with the board. She went back to the drawing board. And when the opportunity presented itself, she was able to create a win-win, I believe, regarding that particular issue. And I actually received a phone call from the Corsi family thanking me and Ms. Downer and the rest of the board for looking into the matter and thanking Dr. Negron for finding a resolution. The other thing that I think is critically important when you're really trying to affect progress, particularly if you're in the minority and you don't have all the resources, you have to be aware of the fact that if you fight among yourselves, that's energy wasted. And if you make public pronouncements without having all the evidence and all the information, then that's problematic too, because that wastes energy in trying to counter that. So another thing I learned as a child is that when we blow out somebody else's candle, it doesn't mean that ours shine any brighter. And my dad had a third grade education, but he was wiser than a whole lot of people with PhDs. And there's a difference between wisdom and classroom education. And unfortunately, we live at a time now where people are more concerned, more narcissistic, and there's a lot of propaganda going around. And I think that one of the things we can do is we can teach our children to be critical thinkers and rational human beings and recognize that you lead with kindness and you lead with evidence. And I think that this is a perfect case of some moves that were made that were morally defensible, fiscally responsible, and rational. And if we can continue to operate this way as a school board and be completely transparent when we're asking other people to be transparent, I think we'll be fine. But it's hard. It's not easy. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Joyner. Dr. Negron, presentation.
Assistant Superintendent Beth Hannons will be providing an update on where we are as it relates to artificial intelligence in our district as a result of the hard work that happened last year with our pilot program.
Good evening. I also have a representative from Magic School with us, Becky Litchin. She will also be presenting as well with me. So excited to come before the board today to talk about and provide an AI update, Bridging the Gaps, a strategic plan for AI integration in New Haven Public Schools. Our path to excellence, you will hear throughout this presentation how our AI integration is rooted within our path to excellence by providing equitable opportunities for our students, high expectations, collaboration, and hitting our priority areas as well. In March 2025, we faced a challenge. Where am I? Let me see. 1 second. All right. We faced a challenge in March 2025. Dr. Negron and I were in conversation around, we know AI was being utilized in our district, but it was inconsistent. And it's what I would call a shadow adoption of AI. It was there wasn't any guidance. We had teachers using it, students using it without any particular parameters around it. And that's called the guidance gap. We also had what we would call the operational gap, and that it was inconsistent throughout the district, so it wasn't equitable across all of our schools. And then the preparation gap, which is increasingly important, as we know our learners right now are required to be AI literate as they go out into the workforce at this time. And so we're facing three types of gaps: a guidance gap, an operational gap, and a preparation gap. I will remind you that to address the guidance gap, we convened a AI committee in April 2025. This committee consisted of teachers, administrators, school level administrators, as well as central office administrators. Later on this year, we also added a Board of Ed, well, two Board of Ed members, including a student member. But in April 2025, the committee convened and we wanted to talk around the status of AI. What would a policy look like to provide guidance to our teachers and students around AI, recognizing it was in district? We began to research different AI K-12 educational policies in April and May. And then the team decided upon making sure that we had a balanced policy which allowed and emphasized responsible, ethical usage of AI, which also allowed innovation, but centered on the human touch, making sure that humans remain in the center of what is happening in the classroom. We call it humans in the loop. We drafted the AI policy in June 2025, and the board passed the policy in August 2025, doing exactly what I described. And that helped us as we addressed the guidance gap within about 3 to 4 months with the board's usage. We then moved on to addressing the operational gap. And to address the operational gap, we really looked at what platforms are out there that we can implement within New Haven that would be user-friendly, but also align with our goals, right? We want to enhance teaching and learning. We also wanted to reduce teacher workload, ensure equitable, personalized and equitable instruction across the board, looking at our IMTSS, strengthening it, making sure we decided upon a platform that will address our diverse set of learners, build AI confidence and ethical usage, and data-informed decision-making. And so we vetted a few programs and we decided to engage in a pilot. Our pilot, as you know, contained 8 schools, and it was Magic School and School AI were the platforms that we reviewed. K-12, 2 high schools in each, using each platform, as well as 2 K-8s. We had access to enterprise accounts and professional learning sessions as well. And so as the pilot concluded, I administered a survey to our teachers, to our administrators that participated in the pilot, and asked them a set of questions. And you can see the results here on the headers when we look at it head-to-head: responsive to district needs, impact on student engagement, time-saving, automation, and safe student environment. Magic School was far superior. As you see, their results were excellent to very good. One of our teachers from East Rock stated, "I would suggest Magic School over School AI. I had tried out School AI and found myself using Magic School instead." As a result of the information learned, and I'll go through it shortly, during the pilot, the AI committee selected Magic School as our platform in New Haven Public Schools. 100%. It was unanimous. The AI committee recommended that we go with Magic School. Keeping in mind, the AI committee is made of stakeholder groups, teachers, administrators. We have board members on it as well as central office administrators. Part of this was that we reached this consensus pretty easily on the selection, and you can see the teachers and at school level results as well. It has proven impact. We saw it based upon comments received as far as the time automation, but we also know that it also reached a diverse learner support, and we'll talk about that. And then as well as the unmatched vendor partnership. As I go through the pilot progress, you will see Magic School was with us every step of the way that we were on this journey. We started with Magic School in January 2026. That's when we had our initial discussions. Magic School also presented to the AI committee, presented to the academic team as well. And then they started onboarding our teachers and administrators with our single sign-on integration. Our teachers' accounts became live in February. They delivered PD to our teachers, some virtually, but they also went and visited our schools as well. So there were check-ins with individual school leaders. Our teachers were able to develop custom tools that they needed in their classroom to support our students as well. Office hours were set. They also spotlighted teacher case uses that were very unique, that were happening in New Haven, that allowed our teachers to customize the platform to what they need. So it wasn't just a package deal already made. You can't tailor it to what you want. It wasn't rigid at all like that. And so some of the comments made from a high school principal said the tech support was amazing. We were able to customize the platform. A 5A ELA teacher stated it enhanced student engagement, promoted critical thinking, and improved instructional decision-making. And this is really important that I elevate this because we often think of AI taken away from critical thinking, but as you can tell from our 5A ELA teacher, quite the opposite was used here. And a K4 teacher said, it gave me the ability to create differentiated tasks. We did not confine our teachers to, you can only use these specific tools or you can only use this portion of Magic School. We opened it up to everyone to customize it for how they felt was best. Keep it in mind, AI is just a tool in a teacher's toolkit, so they can use it how they choose to use it. We see from a world language teacher that they use Magic School to elevate lesson rigor and differentiate instruction. It varied activity levels, saved time. It was intentional in targeted lessons, and it made a real difference in the day-to-day teaching. As our teachers come through and talk, and anyone that has ever taught knows, it's a lot of time in planning lessons. So if teachers are saying this is allowing them to not only increase rigor, not only personalize learning for students, but also to save time, that's a win. The one teacher said, this allowed me to match my students' reading levels. It was thorough, practical, and easy to adapt to. It saved me time, helped me provide clearer, more accessible lessons and communications. You see another comment from an art history teacher on how time-saving the tool is, but it also strengthens students' reading comprehension skills. It was important for the AI committee, and personally for me leading instruction, that it wasn't just about time-saving, but it was about getting more standards-aligned lessons in the classroom as well. And what we were able to do was automate the routine to elevating the instructional. And you hear that time and time again from the amount of work it took to generate rubrics and do things by hand. Now we're able to put those things in play through Magic School and work on what matters most. As a teacher from JCD said, allows teachers to focus more on student learning and engagement. Now we're talking about building relationships. We're talking sense of belonging. We're talking now meeting students' needs as opposed to feeling the overall burnout of the time it takes to prepare these lessons. So how did our teachers use Magic School? They use it in a variety of ways, right? Writing feedback for students, helping students study for a test using instructional materials, custom chat bots, and independent reading discussion and vocabulary. Yes, there's a chat bot that teachers are able to allow students to use. This is all under teacher direction, teacher guidance, right? So what we're saying is, teachers, you now have the tools in front of you, which you're comfortable with, as you teach students how to use AI responsibly and ethically. You can use those particular tools as well. And the workflow accelerator, I spoke on it a little bit earlier, but you can hear, right? Teachers insert baseline plans. And what they said to us, these comments are coming from teachers synthesizing their comments from the survey, and the platform elevates them. As one high school ELA pilot teacher noted, the tool takes existing assignments and creates next level versions by pushing them higher on the depth of knowledge chart. We want our teachers now elevating the level of rigor in the classroom without taking the time to constantly research and find other ideas on how to build lessons. And they're still using their core curriculum. They're still using other tools, but this is another tool that allows them to accelerate personalized instruction in their classroom. We also see where individualized student feedback is a part of this as well. And then I think it's important when we look at the differentiated prism, right? You take that standard lesson plan, but you're also able to translate it into multi-language materials as well. As you know, in New Haven, we pride ourselves on serving a diverse group of learners, but also a multilingual population. And so to be able to meet their needs in the classroom is critically important for all of our success. And targeted IEP accommodations as well. So there's more to Magic School than just the lesson planning, but we can now specifically talk about student learner profiles and then ask Magic School to produce activities that are, and they can be project-based activities. We're not just talking about worksheets that are meeting the needs of our students that with disabilities as well. And I think this will help make us more efficient as we service all of our students to achieve personalized instruction for them. The next slide talks just about that, unlocking accessibility for diverse learners, whether it's L support, whether we're talking around our IMTSS, our multi-tiered systems of supports, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 students, we're able to meet their needs, and the teachers validated it through their comments. We had 49 teachers across 8 schools that responded to this particular survey. So a substantial amount, because all schools did not open up Magic School to all their teachers. So some schools only had 10 teachers in the study. Cross used it with their 9th grade academy. So it was a small set of teachers at each particular school. Lastly, what's top of mind is student safety. And so what we felt like from the committee and our conversations with Magic School, what we also observed was uncompromising student safety in guided environments. We were able to see where cases where students may have said something inappropriately and the teacher is immediately flagged and notified of what is happening and what's going on. There's age-appropriate guardrails as well built directly into the system. And what I have asked our partner to do to hone in on student safety is to join us now, Ms. Lynchen, and if you can talk about how Magic School is built in the next few slides.
Yeah, thank you, Assistant Superintendent Red Henans. So this is a peek under the hood in terms of how Magic School is built. At our very base layer, we use multiple large language models, including things like OpenAI, Claude, Adobe. And what's key to know here is we have 0 data retention contracts with all of our large language model providers. What this means is that when New Haven teachers and students are using Magic School, anything they put into Magic School is safe and protected. It's not going outside of your platform. It's certainly not being sold to third parties, and it's not being used to train any models. Then on top of that, our engineers put our educational proprietary layer, which means for student tools, they're putting in safety guardrails so that students cannot misuse tools and they cannot elicit anything inappropriate. On the teacher side, it means that all of the teacher tools are backed with educational best practices. And then on the very top layer, you're able to customize Magic School for your specific district. So for New Haven, so you're able to put in district priorities, district initiatives, standards, content alignment, all of that stuff. Finally, on the safety and privacy piece, other things to note, we are FERPA, COPA, SOC 2 compliant. We received a 95% rating from Common Sense Media, which puts us at the very top of AI platforms for schools. And lastly, we are also compliant with the state of Connecticut's DPA. And now I'm going to talk a little bit on that preparation gap that was mentioned at the beginning. And I'll talk to you about the implementation plan we have in place for New Haven and what customer support will look like. The first thing is very exciting. So New Haven Public Schools is moving to Magic School's highest tier of customer support. We work with 13,000 districts plus across the country. And so we really know the recipe for success in terms of a good partnership. And throughout this pilot experience, we have seen that be true for New Haven. So the ingredients that make that up, New Haven led a very intentional pilot with multiple stakeholders. There's strong leadership, innovative leadership in place at New Haven. New Haven is aligning Magic School use to its district priorities. And lastly, New Haven has a really robust implementation plan in terms of training for teachers to make sure that the rollout is as successful as possible. So because of these 4 things, we know that this is what a strong partnership looks like. And that's why we're really proud to invest our maximum resources in New Haven this year.
Becky, if I could just underscore that. So what that means is Magic School elevated us without any additional cost to us. So it's cost savings. Okay.
And here is a snapshot of what the implementation plan will look like at New Haven. So you can think of it bucketed 3 different places throughout the year. We have onboarding and activation, and so that entails a back-to-school meeting, establishing our goals as partners this year for New Haven, org admin training, and then introductory professional learning, which includes 2 full district kickoff days where we're leading direct professional learning with teachers at New Haven. And then we have the adoption and intervention phase. So we'll do the mid-year review where we'll look at data, both anecdotal data and quantitative data, to make sure we're on track to meet those goals we set at the beginning of the year. We also have 2 additional professional learning opportunities planned for the fall and the spring. And those will be drop-in sessions differentiated based on content areas and teacher skill level. In working with New Haven this year, that was one thing that really came to the surface, is not every school is going to need the exact same thing. Not every teacher is going to need the exact same thing. And so this is where that differentiated professional learning will come in. And then the end of the year is where we'll do our end of year review. Once again, reviewing data, making sure we are truly meeting the goals we set out to accomplish, and then beginning our planning for our year 2 implementation.
And I will like to add what's really exciting around Magic School and the platform is there is a student AI certification course. And so we are going to make sure all of our students take the certification course because it will work with them through ethical and responsible usage of AI on the Magic School platform, but AI in general as well. Teachers will still need to continue to reinforce that expectation around ethical usage, but that's also very, very exciting. Teachers will also receive weekly tips, monthly newsletters from Magic School on how to use AI. As we address the preparation gap, it's critically important that we're also addressing our teachers' needs as well as our students' needs to prepare them for the workforce that they will go into. Finally, our district strategic alignment and next steps. We talked around closing the gap, targeting key educational barriers, equity across the district, safety, student safety runs top of mind. And then strategically onboarding all of our staff at the same time, not just isolating it to certain schools. And then our district strategic alignment, equipping educators to personalize instruction, meeting students where they are. We also will have some family workshops. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to do a podcast with YFCE Chief Joseph Lumpkin to talk around AI in our schools and how we're leveraging it so that we can also educate our parents around what AI usage looks like in our district. And we will actually start identifying key teachers that are using AI to use the train the teacher model to also help us in leveraging AI in the future and Magic School. And with that, I say thank you and very happy that we have selected Magic School.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Dr. Joyner.
this is a great opportunity to reinforce how you try out and execute a promising innovation in a school district. If you know the history of that type of innovation, it started basically with demonstration models for some of the Great Society programs in the 60s. And it's a part of the scientific method. So it has the highest standard of determining the efficacy of whatever you're trying to do. And I'd just like to point out some of the things that this particular project did that are lessons for everything that we do. One, obviously, our assistant superintendent of curriculum and instruction is actually one of the best people anywhere at what she does. And it certainly took a lot more time than what she would have expected at the beginning of the year when she did her, I guess you would call her eval. She gave a lot to this that she didn't get paid for in money. It's a great application of evidence-based reform. And you're a scientist, Dr. Yarborough, so you can know that anytime you do a trial, you have to have the trial among a group of people that represent a wide range of human qualities. And it's better to use a double rather than a single source treatment, because now you can compare the two treatments. So they actually had another competitor, and they did that. And the more you engage end users, the more likely you're going to have the validity that you need to say that this is a good thing for the district. So it wasn't something that the district handed to teachers, say, do this. New Haven has a history of involving teachers, paraprofessionals, parents, and whatever. And that's because of people like Jim Comer and Ed Ziegler. And of course, I don't think anybody would argue against my saying that this report was A+ in terms of the comprehensive nature of it, the feeling tone generated by the presenters. For those of you who are not familiar with that term, just Google Madeline Hunter. It's an old term. And the transparency. Ms. Red Hannon has made it very clear from the jump, if I can use a little vernacular, that we weren't hiding anything, and we wanted to make it clear to everybody what we were trying to do. And I've been in school districts where people were getting kickbacks because of putting that finger on the scale and all those other things. But this was a phenomenal quasi-experimental design that worked very well. And I'd like to thank you, Ms. Red Hannons, for the hard work that you did. I'd also like to thank Becky for working with you as a collaborator. And I'd like to thank all the teachers that we don't have names for in this that participated in it. And they were doing it under real circumstances. It wasn't isolated from all the other variables that affect teachers in the district. And so I'm very happy about that. The thing that I'd like for us to think about in the next year planning for teaching and learning is, where are we with a policy around providing directions for staff use of AI? Because it's a game changer. I grew up on a farm, and there was a mule and a horse. And before I could become a teenager, you had tractors. And so technology actually will amplify human labor. But for the first time in human history, we have a technology that will amplify human intelligence. And that could be, it's a little bit like the atomic bomb. Nuclear energy can be a great boon for civilization, and it can be a great boom for civilization if you get to play on words. And so I'd like to thank you, Ms. Red Hannons. You set a great example. We should be doing that all over our district, and we should be accessing the kind of partnerships and working in a no-fault, collaborative, and consensus mindset so that we can become more effective and more fiscally accountable and more responsible to the children that desperately need our help. So thanks a lot.
Thank you. And I would shout out the committee as well, because they put in a lot of work. The AI committee has been with us since April 2025. And we've had some teachers on, off, come on in. I reached out to President Blateau, said I need some more teachers, and she gave me some more that will sit on the committee and help in making the decision. So I just want to shout out our teachers and administrators that are also part of the committee.
Right, and that was my point about collaboration. You don't leave anybody
Yes.
out. You don't leave anybody out. And it would be nice if we could post the names of the people that gave up their time, because it was a little extra work with meetings and what have you, gave up their time to this, and let that be a lesson for anything we do in the future when we're trying to figure out better ways of educating our kids. And Becky, thank you so much. I'm glad that you're the kind of consultant that respects the intelligence that's already here and draws that out. And we need more folk like you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Joyner. I have a question about the student AI certification course. What are some of the topics covered, and what's the time to completion? And who are we envisioning may partake in this?
So I actually took the course yesterday. So it's about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm actually going to recommend, and students can receive a certification at the completion of the course. I'm actually going to recommend teachers to do the course alongside the students with them. I believe it can drop as low as 5th through 12th grade. There are a set of questions that come behind the video just to make sure you're paying attention and you're answering. But I think it could evolve more discussion if the teacher does it with the students and then have the students do it on their own. I think that would be perfect. I actually have some feedback after I took the course yesterday for our Magic School partners. I'm actually meeting with them tomorrow on the course, but I envision grades 5 to 12 taking the course, and they'll have to take the course before they can actually use the platform. So they'll need to do that.
Thank you. For involving parents and helping parents to know more about what the district is doing and how their students may be using it, what are we thinking about in addition to the podcast and just getting out the general announcement that is here?
Yeah, I know we have a few family events, our Title I nights events. So we need to brainstorm, and Magic School is going to help me with a rollout plan for families and how we can educate them around AI usage. In our schools, what is AI, how it can be used effectively and efficiently. So a number of different topics. I want to be able to connect with parents in different spaces because I'm sure even in their place of employment, AI is coming up to the top. Ultimately, I would love to do AI workshop for families, working with our Youth Family and Community Engagement Office. And so I have a couple of ideas that's top of mind on how we can bring families into our schools to learn about AI, but also break down the myths of AI as well. So I am very much acknowledging that I understand there's also hesitation when it comes to AI. There's fear when it comes to AI as well. So how we are able to engage our families, our teachers, and letting them know AI is already present in our schools. AI has been around for a number of years, and how we're leveraging it in our schools, not to replace the human touch, but enhance what we're already doing, I think is going to be critically important. What I've learned through my interactions here and across the nation is when you meet people where they are with their where they are in reference to their technology skills and desires, and have level set conversations with them, you can get them to move once they understand you're not trying to replace what humans do. No one can ever replace a teacher. I'm very, and the committee knows that as well. I'm very strong and passionate about no one can replace what a teacher does in the classroom. This is just another tool in a toolkit, like we have other tools that we use in our classrooms as well. And I think when our families hear, we're not just putting kids on a computer screen to use AI. I know I've had some conversations with folks. There's good screen time and there's bad screen time, right? But when we're using it to differentiate, to meet the needs of students, to bring them assignments that are engaging to them, that is good screen time. Now, if I'm just sitting a child on a computer to go on YouTube all day or to do some other things, then we have to have some strong conversations around that. So that's what I'm envisioning. It's a lot that I want to do, but I know we need to do this in order for our students to be prepared for the next level.
Thank you. And one more thought, a response is not necessarily needed tonight, but I'm interested in knowing whether or how the school, the district can develop tools or some indicator to describe to employers or to describe to higher education programs how AI has been used in our district with that particular student that they are looking at or evaluating. Because I know that as employers or as academic programs are reading essays, receiving transcripts, they're trying to decipher on their own how much of what is presented over the course of study or in a particular set of writings represents the student's thoughtfulness and what the student can do, and the student's agency and facility with using digital tools such as AI. And I'm not sure that the higher education institutions or the employers have a good way of really knowing NHPS has prepared students to work responsibly and creatively with artificial intelligence and other digital tools.
Mhm. If I could just say one thing, one of the things, and this isn't germane to Magic School, we're looking at in our college and career pathways around how AI is connected to the various pathways, right? An initial thought was around, hey, do we do an AI academy? Do we do an AI pathway? Instead, I've spoken with the team and saying, well, we need to know how AI is being used in manufacturing. How is AI being used in healthcare? How is AI being used in education to connect to our various pathways to your point, how we're preparing our students to be AI literate and how do we get that out there? Great question. Something for me to think about.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you for the presentation. Dr. Negron?
I also would like to thank Ms. Keisha Red Hannons and the entire committee. As you heard before, this has been a lot of effort and dedication on the time of everyone. And I'm just very excited that we're here now and that there is a clear plan moving forward for us to continue to learn. Because again, we know that artificial intelligence is going to be evolving rapidly. So we have to do our best to continue to stay ahead of it. So Ms. Red-Hannons, thank you so much for your leadership. That concludes my report for tonight.
Thank you very much, Dr. Negron. Governance Committee report, Dr. Benitez.
Yes, we will be meeting, good evening, Board of Education and the public. We will be meeting on August 4th. And that's a change from our July meeting due to certain commitments that people have during July. We were able to change the meeting for the following week. And we should be meeting then and adjusting certain things that then we would like to share with the full committee, with the full board. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Benitez. Any discussion? Seeing none, Teaching and Learning Committee report, Dr. Joyner.
This is brief. Our next task between now and the opening of school year is to create a calendar of topics as well as board presentations so that we can hit the ground running. And of course, some of the stuff you heard tonight is going to be part of it. And that means that I need to meet with Dr. Negron and with Ms. Red Hannons to do that, as well as their meeting with appropriate stakeholders to generate content. And what we're trying to do is to make sure everything is in alignment, that we have a strategic plan, we have a board, we have board goals, and everything on our committee should reflect movement in that area. So that will be my report for tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Joyner. Any discussion? Thank you. There's no student representatives report tonight.
Dr. Benitez raised her hand.
Oh, yes, Dr. Benitez, please. Thank you.
Yes, just wanted to remind, and I'm sure Ms. Hannons is working on that, but remind the committee, I'm one of the members, that the AI policy was approved, but however, we should have a guidance document that accompanies that. And I'm hoping that will be part of a future discussion and future presentation to the board. As I know, things will continue to develop and our staff and students will be able to do more with AI. It'd be great if we get an update on how the policy is working and if there are needs for adjustments. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Benitez. Dr. Joyner.
Yeah, I'm glad that Dr. Benitez made that point. What I think would be helpful is for us to have. She talked about a guide. That's critically important. It would be helpful for us to have rubrics where they're necessary, evaluation instrumentation where it's necessary, formative, especially formative, so that it can improve, and any other guidance around the use of it. We are a data-wide school district, and we want to eventually have that be manifest in everything we do. No action without research, and no research without action, which predates data-wise, but that's what it's all about. So Dr. Benitez has a strong background in education. We do need to sit down with the powers that be and say, how do we evaluate the impact? How do we evaluate the efficacy? How do we evaluate whether or not people are following the processes that are associated with this part of AI? And what kind of hard data, qualitative data, and to some extent quantitative data to measure level of use as well as impact? Is there going to be a change in, because we can do more differentiation, will there be a change in student performance? Will students become more autodidactic and spend a lot of time educating themselves using AI? There's a great frontier out there for us to explore, but we need to use instrumentation so that we can have a clear sense of how things are going and make the necessary adjustments.
Thank you, Dr. Joyner. Finance and Operations Committee report. Mr. Wilcox.
This will be very brief. We did meet as scheduled, and in addition to the action items, we did hear some information from our Chief Financial Officer about two things. One is that this is the time of year where the previous fiscal year has ended, and a lot of work is happening in city systems like Munis over the next month or three, which means that we're not going to have regular financial reports in the month of August or September, and those will resume in October once the systems are back opened up and everything is completed. He also talked, it's a continuing conversation about different enhancements and efficiencies that he and the finance team are working through to make things work better. So our minutes are posted, and our next meeting is next Monday afternoon.
Thank you. Any discussion? Thank you. Head Start Committee report. Mr. Wilcox.
Briefly, Mr. Juarez isn't here tonight, who is the chair, but I was at that meeting and I'm on that committee. So just very briefly, two things. One is that the committee has decided to change the start time of the meeting moving forward due to a scheduling conflict. It'll remain on this third Thursday of each month, but instead of starting at 5 p.m., it'll start at 4:30 p.m. So from the district side of things, that would mean probably that the next meeting needs to be listed as a special meeting at its new time. And then moving forward, we just need to adjust the official meeting times to be that new 4:30 start time. And then the final thing is, I'll mention that staff are working really hard on getting applications in, reviewed, and decisions made as to who will be our new Head Start students coming up. It looks like there's still plenty of positions for Head Start students, so tell your friends and neighbors to get their applications in. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wilcox. Any discussion? Thank you. For the Food Service Task Group, our next meeting will be in August. Summer meals are still available for children 18 and under who are in New Haven, who can make it to the sites where food is being distributed. And the district collaborators are working on the meal gap period that is between the time when the summer meals end and the official school year start begins. There was a meeting to review the food allergy policy and to see about any updates that are to be needed. In our next meeting, we'll go over whether any recommendations came forward. And the district food team is continuing to prepare for the upcoming school year. Any discussion? Thank you. Citywide School Building Committee report. Mr. Wilcox?
This will be brief. We have not met since the last meeting. We'll be meeting again on the second Thursday of August, but also just one reminder that in addition to the report that Dr. White and the facilities team put together for the committee every month, presenting a high-level view of what's going on in related to those areas, just a reminder that if people would like to see more information in that report or other things covered by that report or other agenda items, just as a reminder for everybody, please get that information to, it'd be Dr. Negron, Dr. White, and also Giovanni Zinn, the city engineer, is the chair of that committee, who would be able to entertain adding things either to the report or to the meeting agenda itself. And also as a reminder, this is a joint committee that has New Haven schools and city officials, and then also board members from the Board of Education and Board of Alder members as well. So it is a great committee to look at all the challenges that we have with our facilities. Thank you.
Thank you. Any discussion? Dr. Benitez?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Wilcox. I have a recommendation that perhaps if whoever chairs that committee can invite the Board of Alders Education Committee to attend that, they might be better informed about the work that you are doing, which I believe Dr. White is very diligently working on things and needs all of our support. So I am hoping that the Education Committee of the Aldermanic Board of Alders attends these meetings so that they understand the work behind all of that, because I am concerned that they are not getting the full information, and they need to have the full information in order to support us, which I know that's what they are trying to do. Just an encouragement for someone to invite them to attend. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll just say that members of the committee are the chair of the Education Committee for the Alders, the chair of the Finance Committee for the Alders. The Alders president can also appoint another member, and it is an open meeting. We often are seeing the committee chairs I mentioned and also other Alders that attend, because it's also just like all of these, a public meeting. So, but I take the point, and I will encourage more people to tune in, including the board. You're all welcome to join us 4:30 on the second Thursday of every month. It's always quite informative, but thank you.
Thank you very much. Facilities Naming Committee report, Dr. Joyner.
Yes, we've had to slow down a bit. I don't think it's going to change the outcome, but as I said earlier, there's never a wrong time to do the right thing. One of the things that we want to do is make sure that everything we did was in accordance with policy, and also to work with governance to develop a more efficient way of doing this. Memorialization is a very important thing. And I don't think we put forth anybody that wasn't worthy, but we want to make sure that we are the change that we seek. And so that, and then just, if I can just have a point of personal privilege to substantiate something that Dr. Benitez said, if that's okay.
Yes, thank you,
Okay.
Dr. Joyner. Go ahead.
One of the challenges of collaboration is that you have people that you want to bring into the conversation that come from different places in the larger area. And in this case, you have people that have specific responsibility. The Board of Alders and the Board of Education are the two governance organizations for the city, with the Board of Alders having specific responsibilities related to that, and the Board of Education having specific responsibility to creating policy, approving budgets for schools and what have you. And then, of course, you have a superintendent that has the executive responsibility. Where I've seen groups get into trouble is when we start to blur the lines. And I've even seen that with boards and superintendents when board members try to tell superintendents who to hire, uh, what programs to bring in. And all you have to do is Google board scandals and you'll see where that's violated. So I think it's critically important when we bring different groups together to help people understand what their roles and responsibilities, to have clarity around whose job it is to do what. And to also help people understand that we only have one chief executive officer that has the authority, the legal jurisdictional authority to direct the work of the district, to make recommendations to the board, but also to consult the board on a regular basis when making decisions. And then when that happens, then you evaluate the persons on the merits of what they were able to achieve. We cannot go down the road of having folk in one field that actually they don't have the responsibility for the outcome, and they don't have to accept the consequences of the outcome, but they want to have a role in making the decision. If done properly and ethically, each of the organizations, each of the stakeholders in our universe will respect the authority, mission, the authority and mission of each. I would never try to get the president of the board of alders to do something that's outside of my range and authority. I would never tell the mayor who he can appoint. I can say I think so and so is a good person, but I'm not going to set up a campaign to try to influence him appointing a particular chief of fire, chief of police, human services, and so on and so forth, because he has to accept the responsibility. And so for those of you out there that are listening, we have to do that as a group of intelligent, democratically oriented elders, and be careful of the language we use when we meet with people, to understand that Dr. White only reports to one person, and that's the superintendent, and the superintendent only reports to 7 people. And that's important. And everybody talks about transparent. I could be a lot more transparent, but I don't think it would serve any good. But we have to be very honest about that. And the key word is respect, role clarity, and hopefully you're motivated by the greatest good for the greatest number rather than any narcissistic impulses. And I don't want to prolong the meeting because we're doing pretty good, but there'll probably be more to be said about that in and out of meetings and in public spaces as we go forward until we get it right. So thank you for granting me that privilege.
Thank you, Dr. Joyner, for your comment. Thank you also for your committee report. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
That's been moved and seconded. Mr. Wilcox?
Yes.
Dr. Joyner?
Yes.
Ms. Downer?
Yes.
Dr. Benitez?
Yes.
Mayor Elicker?
Yes.
I'm a yes as well. Thank you, everyone.